Hey guys, I'm Michelle from Virtual Hand Care, and in this video, I'm going to show you 5 finger and thumb strengthening exercises that you can do with putty. So let's get started. So I really like using putty when it comes to finger and thumb strengthening. It's very versatile. There's so many different types of exercises you can use, and it also comes in several different colors, which indicate different resistance levels. So there's very soft putty for those of you that might just be starting out in working on finger and hand strength, but then there's also very hard putty like this blue one here that's hard as a rock that can provide those of you that are looking for a challenge. I usually stick with the yellow, and that's what I'm going to be using for this video. And I'll leave a link below of where you can find the putty. Okay, exercise number 1 is called a key pinch. This one is more for the thumb. So the thumb is facing up and is actually pinching down against the index finger. We do key pinches when we are trying to start our car. If you still have a key, pinch open bags. There's various activities that we use a key pinch for. So go ahead and grab your putty. What you want to do is roll the putty out on the table. This is a good way to kind of warm up the fingers and the thumb. Just rub your fingers over that. Great way to massage the hand in the palm. And then what you're looking to do is, again, with that thumb on top for that key pinch, you could either pick up the putty this way or you can just rest it down on the table, whatever feels comfortable for you. But what you do is you place the putty in between the thumb and index, and then you pinch down. And what you want to do is pinch several times along the putty. And then go ahead and grab that putty and then roll that back out again. Let's do that one more time through. So if you feel like if you made the putty too thick and that was too hard for you to pinch through, then you would want to roll it out a little bit more, make it a little bit longer. That way you have a thinner amount of putty to pinch through. And you want to make sure that you pinch all the way through against the index finger, which should just take a second or two to do. And I recommend to do that about 10 or 15 repetitions, or you can set yourself a timer for, a minute or two to do that exercise. Okay, exercise number 2 is for thumb extension. So go ahead and roll that putty out again. And start with a thinner amount of putty with this one, just because you don't know how that's going to feel on the thumb. But what you do then is you grab part of the putty and then you actually wrap it on top of the tip of the thumb. And then grab the putty with your fingers and you straighten up through the putty with your thumb. And you're going to do that again. Roll that back out. And you can actually pull with your other hand and wrap that around the thumb too. You can also do it that way. And then straighten up through that putty. I'm going to do a couple with my other thumb here. And you don't necessarily have to roll it out. You can just continue to wrap that around the thumb like this. But if you like to give that thumb a little break, you can go ahead and roll that out a little bit and then go ahead and extend your thumb through that putty that way. And again, you can do 10 or 15 repetitions to each thumb or set yourself a timer for about a minute or so with that exercise. Okay, so exercise number 3 is a hook to full fist squeeze. So what you do with this, we're gonna start by squeezing against the putty in a hook fist, and then we're gonna continue squeezing all the way down into our full fist. Go ahead and place that putty in the fingers there, and then keep that putty there by squeezing into that hook fist, and then continue that fist down into your palm, into that full fist. And then back up. And roll that out. Again, go into that hook, squeeze, and continue down into your palm, into that full fist. Good. Let's do that a couple times on the other hand. And make sure you're going into that hook fist, which is where the knuckles are straight, and then just the finger, the DIP and PIP joints are bent, and you flex down against that putty as much as you can, and then come down into that fist just to get that nice final squeeze in there. Good. Again, going into that hook fist to start. And squeezing all the way down. And again, I would do 10 to 15 of those, or again, set yourself a timer for a minute or two with that. Okay, finger and thumb strengthening exercise number 4 is tip pinch. This kind of pinch is very important for picking up small objects around the house, maybe pulling our socks up on our feet. This is when the thumb is now on the bottom and our index finger is on top. So our index is actually pushing down against the thumb and the thumb is resisting. So again, we're gonna take that putty, roll that putty out. If you want to, you don't necessarily have to roll the putty out for this. You can just take it right out of the container and then you can just work on pinching against the putty that way. I kind of like just to roll it out so I can see the pressure that my finger places into the putty. So again, just pinching down against the putty with the index and thumb all along that putty. Now we can kind of count, do a couple of repetitions here. Going nice and slow. I also like to make sure that I curl my other fingers down into a fist. With this one, you can pinch with the fingers open, but it's usually more comfortable, and by curling your fingers, you're truly only working the index and thumb, and you're not letting those other fingers help. Go ahead and roll it out. We're going to do a couple on the other hand. Again, curl those other fingers so that you truly just isolate the index and the thumb, and pinch down against the putty. And again, you can do 10 to 15 of those, or set yourself a timer for a minute or two. Okay, exercise number 5 for finger and thumb strengthening is 3-point pinch with a pull. So what a 3-point pinch is, your thumb is on the bottom and it's just like the tip pinch, except now we're going to use our middle finger to help also. And the pull is going to give us a little more of a sustained type of pinch and adds a little more resistance. You can either roll this out like you have with the other exercises, or you can just hold the putty with your other hand. Again, just make sure that you are keeping your ring finger and small finger curled down so that you're just using the index, thumb, and middle finger. And then you want to pinch and pull. And pinch and pull. It's kind of like taffy. Pinch and pull. And you even get a little bit of work with that other hand, so you can use both hands at the same time. Pinch and pull. Pinch and pull. Just make sure when you are pulling the putty that you don't pull too far, because sometimes little pieces can fly off of this putty and get into your carpet or your couch or wherever you're working on this. So just make sure that you do work with the putty at your table so you can make sure that you can clean that area. And just make sure when you are done with the putty that you put it in the container that it comes in, and make sure that lid is on nice and tight, because if you don't, it's kind of like the blob. It can seep and move around, and it could move onto something that you don't want it to get stuck on. So do make sure that you keep it in the container it came in. With all of those exercises, you can do 10 to 15 repetitions, or like I said, you can set a timer for 1 to 2 minutes with each exercise, or you could also just set yourself an overall timer of maybe 5 to 6 minutes, and you can just do all of those exercises and just transition from one to the other throughout that time frame. And you can do those 1 or 2 times a day. Now, if you don't have putty, I also have a homemade putty video that I will link here of where I use balloon and flour to make your own squishy ball, which is very similar to a resistance of putty. Now, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please comment below and let me know what you thought about these exercises. And don't forget to hit that like button and that subscribe button below. And if you want to see more finger and thumb strengthening exercises, check out these videos here that YouTube is suggesting for you. Thanks for watching.